I tried everything. And that is the most gut-wrenching part of it. It's that I had this overwhelming feeling of powerlessness. Because yes, I've heard of the fucking 2-minute rule. Yes, I've tried to use the Zeigarnik effect. I've listened to all the fucking tactics out there. I tried throwing the junk food out. I tried using these app blockers to make sure that I don't procrastinate by going on these fucking websites and social medias and ordering food and using these kind of vices. But no matter what I did, I ended up in this powerless state, in this feeling of depression, of just fucking wanting more and knowing deep down in my soul that I'm worth more and that I must do more. But I ended up being stuck. I ended up going to bed, having like symptoms of insomnia, looking at the ceiling and just thinking, what the fuck? Like, how? How do I get more done? My whole day is taken up by wanting to be productive, but I just can't. I just can't put it together. Until I read this book. So this book is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield, and it talks about this very, very interesting concept of resistance. And ever since I understood this, I fucking promise you my whole entire perception of productivity changed. So we're going to be talking about resistance, which is this force that every single time you determine something with your rational, logical mind to be good for you, such as running, for example, you have this force. No matter how hard you want to do the thing and you're drawn to do it, for some reason, you just can't. That is exactly the biggest driver of procrastination. So we're going to talk about what this is. Now, this is a concept which is very, very adjacent to many things in life. So it could be talked about in spirituality. It could be talked about in neuroscience. It could be talked about in many, many fields. And it has a lot of evolutionary kind of origins as well. So let's take a look at it from that point of view. Also, Jung kind of talked about it in The Shadow, but I digress. Resistance, basically, by definition, is the force that keeps you from change. It's the force that every single time you determine something to be good, usually it's outside your comfort zone. Usually it's something new to you. And your identity as a whole has this role in your system, which is solely to protect you from danger. So if we take a look at when we were fucking Neanderthals and cavemen, then you looked at a new batch of berries, and every single time you looked at a new batch of berries, it posed a threat to you because you did not know the venom content of it. So it might actually poison you. Okay, you see another person, another caveman. Yeah, teaming up with them might be nice and you could slay more boars and have more food, but that person might bonk you in the head after you've hunted the boar successfully down and eat you as well. So you never really knew, and every single time something, although you determined it was good, it still posed a threat. And like paying attention to these new things and paying attention to, being like hyperactive in our minds and being like, no, that's not good because this and that and this. It's a logical thing. So procrastination does serve a purpose. And we need to understand that this resistance feeling, any single time we determine something is new, but it's good for us, we will feel this push away from it. And that's exactly what resistance is. From now on, you need to conceptualize resistance as the crazy X that will do every single thing in its power to keep you away from a certain thing. Literally anything. And this touches on Carl Jung's Jungian psychology as well, which is that of the shadow. You have these deep forces within you that you don't even fucking understand, that are deep in your subconscious, yet they are the ones that rule your life. So this might look like the running example, which we just drew on the board, or it might look like something like, I don't know, you have a girl that you want to ask out, right? This is her. She's looking all pretty and shit, and then you want to ask her out, and you have this pull, which is like, yeah, you should do this, because rationally, then we have a chance of securing a good mate, and that's what you want. And then you will have this other force, which is in the opposite direction, and then it comes up and it says, no, you shouldn't do this because it's dangerous, you shouldn't do this because you might get laughed at, you shouldn't do this because you might ruin your friendship, you shouldn't do this because, and it will come up with those fucking reasons, and it will activate your amygdala, and these danger signals will go off. You will literally feel like you're in danger, and you know what I'm talking about, by the way, because you've experienced this countless amount of times, hundreds of times, if not thousands of times in your life. You have this relatively normal thing, and you suddenly start getting these thoughts that are somewhat rational. Like, this isn't a lie. Like, every single time you want to go running, your brain kind of tells you, oh no, you remember we wanted to get those new shoes, and we don't really have the new shoes, so our tendon might get pulled, we might hurt a ligament, we might get injured, we might fall over because these are like ruggedy ass shoes, and I don't know, and it's quite busy right now, and there's a lot of cars on the street, and I don't know, it's not the best time to go running. And like relatively, if we actually look at all of these arguments, you have all of these counter arguments that your brain is throwing at you, they're kind of rational. Like, they're not stupid. So you aren't stupid. I'm not going to fucking laugh at you, and I'm not going to call you stupid like a bunch of other YouTubers like to, because you are somewhat logical when you're in this state of, do I do it, do I not? If you listen to this myriad of counter arguments, that's somewhat of a rational understanding. But the thing is, this is an outdated circuit, because nowadays, very few things actually pose this amount of danger to us. We get these signals, and for some reason, they are hyperactive every single time we try to do something good for us, but that's the exact problem, is that we don't need to listen to this sense of danger every single time. So the mere fact of understanding resistance is the first step to actually beat procrastination. So just identify every single time you feel this sense of resistance. So resistance, just to actually give you a few examples, comes in so many ways. It comes in this sense of the goal. It comes in sense of going running, for example, what I said, or what I drew on the board at the beginning of this video. Or it could be literally anything. It could be, productive procrastination is what we've all done before. When you go and clean the whole house before you sit down and do your homework. Yeah, cleaning the house, it's a nice thing. It's something that is somewhat productive. It's something that will help you, but it could wait. The number one priority that you rationally, logically decided was to do your homework because it can't be delayed, like you need to do it for tomorrow, yet there you are cleaning your fucking house. Or you might tell yourself that, recording the podcast is a waste of time because no one will watch it anyway. These things are somewhat rational, cleaning your house is a good thing. Maybe not wasting time is also a good thing. So you will be thrown all of these things that seem rational, but the thing is, you've already decided to do the thing. You've already logically come to the conclusion that doing this, despite all of the risks, will be a good thing. But once you're in the situation where you come to actually do it, and you're like, actually, oh shit, should I ask to go out? Should I go on the run? You will be bombarded by all of these counter-arguments. And that is resistance. That is exactly the force that is trying to repel you from growth. That is the force which is literally like fucking ripping out the roots of your growth. And every single time you fail to identify this, you will give into these because you will look at it and you'll be like, oh shit, this seems rational, so why not? Why shouldn't I give into it? And that's the biggest mistake you can do. So once you identify it, the way you actually beat resistance is by what I like to call a reframed close. So whenever I was in marketing and sales and I learned a bunch of these tactics, I would see these tactics being used on me on TV. I would see the advertisements and I'd just be like, wait a minute, that's just not even that, they would use this language which I would be attracted to. But then after I understood these sales tactics and shit, I was like, well, that's just a stupid offer. I'm not really attracted to that. That's false urgency. They're not even doing that. They just pulled a study and kind of misquoted it. And I would start to understand it. And this is the same thing that once you actually identify resistance, you'll be like, wait a minute, this isn't even that real. The reason I'm coming up with all of these fucking smart ass arguments is because this thing is good for me. And now I'm just trying to save myself from change. And the other thing is, that I learned actually from this, which is very akin to this from sales and marketing, is the reframe close. So what the reframe close realistically means is that every single time someone comes up with an argument, let's say we're trying to convince Gary to buy a fitness mentorship. And Gary says, oh no, I can't buy the fitness mentorship because I have to ask my wife first. Maybe it's a high-ticket mentorship. And us, as the salespeople, we're like, yeah, sure, Gary, that makes a lot of sense to me. You should probably ask your wife, but isn't that the exact reason why you wanted to get started with this program? Because she doesn't perceive you as the man of the house? Isn't that the exact reason why you should buy this? Because, you've been slacking in the gym and, people don't really respect you like that. Isn't this the time to actually fucking be the master of your own fate and actually make decisions for yourself and stand up for yourself? That's what you should be doing here, Gary. And, you might say that that's not moral or shit. And yeah, that's a different conversation for a different day, sales. But that is the reframe close. And that's exactly what we need to do in the scope of resistance. Every single time we identify it, we must flip it on its head. Understand that if the thing is not good for you, such as putting your hand on a hot stove, this is a pan and there's a stove under it and it's boiling hot, and you're putting your fucking hand on it, the thing is, you're never going to get an idea, you're never going to start bargaining with your mind. Your mind isn't going to start to come up with things, oh, you should put it on the stove, oh no, you shouldn't put it on the stove. You're not going to get into this fucking mental dialogue about getting your hand on the hot stove. This never happens, by the way. You intuitively know that that's not a good thing. The only time resistance actually comes up is when you have a desire, you rationally decide to do the thing, so you decide to do the good thing. And then you get resistance. Only if the thing is good for you, you actually come to the logical conclusion that I should do this thing because it will progress me in life, then you will do the thing. So what you can do is you can use resistance as an indicator for how good the thing is. Let me explain. So every single time you have a thing in your life and you start hearing these voices in your head, of resistance. And your resistance is like, oh no, we shouldn't do our homework right now because we're kind of tired and we just had a meal, you know, we're in this postprandial crash or food coma, and we realistically don't really need to do this right now because so we should wait like 2 hours. And then you wait 2 hours and then your brain's like, yeah, but you know, Gary, he's going to get on a call with us in 2 hours, so we should wait, we should do it together with him because then we're going to be more efficient. And then you just fucking come up with these excuses, no matter what time it is, no matter what kind of state you're in. You always come up with these excuses, and this is what procrastination looks like. If you've ever procrastinated before, you know this. So what ends up happening is, however, like if on one scale we have, actually this is a better way to illustrate it, if on one scale we have how good the thing is for you, how much you actually need to do it, and on the other scale we have resistance, what you will find is that it's almost entirely linear. So if the thing is very important for us, like a 9 out of 10, you will feel a fuck ton of resistance. And this is why when I drew the girl, and you asking her out, that's like a primal fucking thing. That's like in our DNA. And we want to ask her out and everything. So this would be a very good thing to get in a relationship with her. At least that's what we consciously, logically decide. So what ends up happening is we get the big fucking R against us, and you get, oh no, every single person on the fucking hallway would think we're a creep if we start doing that in public. Okay, no, but we can't text her because we'd ruin our friendship. Oh no, but that's actually not, we're not that good, you know, we're out of her league, And then you start getting all this fucking barrage of resistance, which, like, one by one you can tackle them. But the thing is, it's kind of like, it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. It's hard to explain, but the thing is, you ultimately decided that it's a good thing for you. Rationally, you've been mulling this over for months and months and months, and you've come to the conclusion that you should do this. Yet, whenever you come to the point of actually doing it, you actually put yourself in, you know, danger, or at least what your mind perceives as danger. Your amygdala starts firing these signals. Then you get this barrage of resistance. And what you could do, what most people do, what I used to do when I was speaking about the intro part, when I actually fucking got nothing done and it like killed me from the inside, I listened to these thoughts. I was like, yeah, but I filmed this YouTube video and all of my friends would laugh at me. Yeah, if I went on this, I went on my first boxing lesson, everyone would fucking own me and I'd probably get a black eye. And every single time, I listened to this, almost every single time. And once I finally learned about resistance, I was like, hold on, I'm going to get these thoughts. But this thought, like these thoughts, the amount of thoughts that I'm getting is actually just an indicator that I must do the thing. So every time you feel, oh shit, I'm getting like a lot of resistance, right? I'm getting like a 9 out of 10 resistance. I'm feeling a lot of counter arguments to me doing the thing. You should be like, I must do it for that very reason. Use the reframe close. So once your brain starts producing these thoughts, you should be like, aha, the only reason why I'm getting these thoughts to not do the good thing, which I already decided, by the way, with my rational mind yesterday or the day before or whenever, that this is a good thing for me and I should do it. The only reason why I'm not wanting to do it right now is because of resistance. And this is an opportunity for fucking growth. This is the only way I will grow. Then you must grow. Then you must do it. And then that is the exact reason why you must do it. Always use the reframe close. So realistically, the only two parts to this thing is identifying it and flipping it on its head. This is the way I actually beat procrastination. Literally just listen to your mind and actually look at all of these reasoning things in the scope of resistance. Actually look at all of these arguments and be like, okay, she might laugh at me, but she's probably not going to. Like, that's very, very extreme. And also, although, even if she does, I've already decided this is a good thing. Oh no, but you might get injured on your run. Yeah, but realistically, how often do people get injured on a run? Like, that's not really that deep. And I'm also just going to go for a 3-kilometer run. You can debunk these one by one if that helps you. But the thing is, if you just like fundamentally understand that this is resistance speaking, and you've already decided it's already a good thing for you, why the fuck would you wait?